Hey everyone, this is Mike the Comic Book Trove, back today with another Omnibus review, and today I'm going to be taking a look at The Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 6, a book which I'm very happy to add to my collection, and this one has been out a little while now. I've been meaning to get to it for a while, just haven't really had the time, but I'm going to do it now, of course. So, I remember a few years ago, probably about 3 years ago now, when Volume 5 came out, I was really kind of pleased and excited about that at the time, and I said how great it was to get a 5th volume of this omnibus line. Well, unsurprisingly, I feel just as happy about Volume 6, and this does mean now we've got just over the first 200 issues of Amazing Spider-Man collected uninterrupted across 6 omnibus volumes, which is just great, to be honest. I'm really, really pleased to be able to say that. Let's have a look at this book and see what's going on here specifically then today. So this being the standard variant, I believe it's the cover of issue 186, just minus the text off the cover itself. But really like that, really cool image, cool dynamic poses. Keith Pollard there, the artist on that. And on the back we've got the cover gallery, of course, as is usual for these, and shows you there the front cover of every issue collected in the book, and down there you get the actual description of what's in here. So we're looking at issues 181 to 205, a couple of annuals, and some what if stuff as well. So plenty in this book, nice big chunk of material. On the hardcover itself, got the nice kind of standard plain design. Nothing too fancy, but it is nice. They started putting these logos on the back of these nowadays. I remember when they just used to be plain black on the back, but that's cool. I like that. And then if we jump inside, then I will give my usual spoiler warning at this point, because I'll talk about a few key things that happened during this run of issues. Obviously not going to go over everything, never do, but you never know. Might end up spoiling something somebody doesn't want to know about if you've never read this before. And you're the kind of person who likes to experience it all kind of fresh, then fair enough, then that's why I like to give these warnings, really. On the creators page here, then, the credits, we can see that the main writer is Marv Wolfman, writes the majority of the stuff in this book. In fact, I think this is pretty much his entire run when he wrote Amazing Spider-Man, so it's kind of a Spider-Man by Marv Wolfman omnibus, in a way. The main then artists, main pencilers, we've got the final issues of Ross Andrews' run, an artist who I think really defined Spider-Man in the 70s and the Bronze Age. When I think of that era of Spider-Man, it's Ross Andrews' art that comes to my mind first and foremost. I'm sure it does for many people. Keith Pollard, he's the one who takes over as the next main artist, but there are several other guest artists we can see here, and of course inkers and finishers as well. So a lot of different artistic talent throughout this book, all very cool. And then the contents page as well, giving us everything in here, along with the original publication date of the issues. And with issue 205 then, June 1980 being the publication date, that means we've got everything from 1962 with Amazing Fantasy 15 up to mid-1980 now. That is a huge chunk of Spider-Man material that we're looking at, that we've now got in Omnibus. That's just really cool to say. So introduction here by Marv Wolfman. This is from 2016, and then we jump right into the book. And really then, this is more of the same kind of classic Bronze Age era Spider-Man. If you liked kind of volumes 4 and 5, I suppose, specifically, probably 5 more so, then this is really the sort of thing you're getting a bit more of. And if you're into that era of comics as I am, if you're into your classic Marvel, your Silver and Bronze Age stuff, I'm sure you'd like this. But likewise, if you're not, this isn't really your era of comics, the older stuff, I don't think that this book would particularly win you round or change your mind on that, to be honest. So, yeah. But we've got plenty of returning classic supporting characters. You know, we've got Betty Brant here, Peter's original love interest, actually, from way back in the day in the Lee Ditko era. A couple of other things that happened during this run then. There is this issue 185, Peter Parker's college graduation. So, pretty cool. I believe it's just after this point where he ultimately becomes like a teaching assistant working at his university. Issue 186 here, we've got the cover that they used for the standard variant of the dust jacket. And I always really like that, you know, cool dynamic imagery of these Spidey in motion springing across the rooftops by Keith Pollard. Cool bit of artwork there, I like it. Then also in this book then, there is the introduction of the Black Cat. Obviously a very significant, popular character in Spidey history at this point. So we get her earliest appearances in here, as well as the first issue, obviously, first appearance There's a couple of story arcs as well. Spider Slayer, yeah, pretty much the worst ever recurring Spider-Man villain, but yeah. Get another one of those, just in case you're one of the 3 people in the world who likes a Spider Slayer story. Let's have a look if we can find the Black Cat issue, that being issue 194, I think. Yeah, so it'll be the next issue. Really like the artwork of Keith Pollard, though. I do think he did a good job of succeeding Ross Andru on here. I think that I do probably marginally prefer Andru's work, but definitely good stuff from Pollard as well. Not one of those situations where it feels like a noticeable downgrade. Certainly wouldn't say that. Here we go then with the first appearance of Black Cat, Felicia Hardy. And yeah, cool stuff. So she appears in a couple of issues here, and then in a couple of issues towards the end of the omnibus as well. And from an early stage, really, you've got that whole kind of story where she has that sort of infatuation with Spider-Man. So that element of her character was there from the beginning. But as with, plenty of other characters, from the point where they're first introduced to, later on in their development, she becomes kind of a bit more elaborated on. Her backstory gets further revealed as time goes on. And, certainly as you move further into the 80s and she became a more recurring supporting character, I feel that she was fleshed out more as a character than in these earliest stories, but they're very cool. And it's, it's great to obviously have them in this format as well as everything else in here. Issue 200 as well, which is in this book, and is a very cool anniversary issue, I suppose you could call it. Maybe not technically an anniversary issue, but a bicentennial issue. Will that be the right word for it, I guess? Anyway, it's a significant issue in here because it goes right back to the beginning of Spider-Man history, actually. It features a reunion between Spidey and the burglar. In fact, it's even called The Spider and the Burglar. The burglar who killed his Uncle Ben way back at the very beginning. And we've even got this bit at the top. 200 issues ago, they said 200 years ago, Stan Lee and Steve Ditko created a classic. And this is a cool story. I actually like this, although I will say I don't understand really how this burglar, this ordinary guy at the end of the day, causes Spidey so much trouble throughout this story. Like, realistically, he's far faster, far stronger, far more agile and everything else than any normal guy. He could easily just kind of like jump on top of him and knock him out. But instead, he makes a real meal of it. And yeah, it becomes a bit more drawn out than it realistically would be, I think. But I suppose that's just done for the sake of, I guess, trying to build the drama. But I do like the story. It's cool to revisit the beginning in a way and have Peter get some closure in dealing with this guy, his first villain, really, as it were. Also, I really like this panel. I've always liked that. I just think that is a cool kind of Spidey going full Hulk, ripping the shirt off. Very much a Hulk-style thing to do. It's just very good. Yeah, so this story does see a definitive ending to the burglar. He gets his comeuppance, finally, after many, many years since that original story. All in all then, yeah, this is just a cool book, I gotta say. As a Spidey fan, I'm a big fan of this stuff, so I'm very happy to have it, of course. But be definitely happy to hear from other people, as always, see what other people think about it. We've got Mary Jane returning to the series here after a bit of an absence. I believe she'd been away for a while at this point, I think, unless I'm confusing things. Anyway, yeah, but interested to hear what other people think of it. So do let me know in the comments, if this is something you've picked up yourself or are interested in. This is the second Black Cat story. These final 2 issues in the book, 204 and 205. Yep, so this is a second story arc. And she kind of did this for a while. I think for at least the first 3 times she appeared, she was just doing it in 2-issue story arcs. So there's the 2 in here. Then I think the next one came during Roger Stern's run on the series. So you get those in the Roger Stern Omnibus, of course. But anyway, yeah. I think that all in all, probably on the balance of things, the fact that you get Black Cat's first appearance and earliest stories in here probably is just about the most significant thing in the book, like the biggest thing to highlight in terms of significant Spidey history, etc. Let's have a little look at the extras in the back, because at this point we're just flicking through some what if stuff, and the what if stuff has never really been my thing, to be honest. I can take it or leave it, you know, like it's okay, but yeah, not my favourite stuff. Stan Lee there, so let's have a look. What have we got here? A few bits of interview stuff. I'm sure there'll be some original artwork in here as well. Yeah, quite a lot of extras actually in here. I haven't flicked through these yet before now, but I will have to do so and have a proper look, because this looks pretty interesting. I think it's stuff from all over Spider-Man's history up till this point, by the looks of it. But yeah, as I say, anybody who's got this book, let me know what you think of this stuff, and I'd be happy to hear other people's viewpoints on it, whether you like it as much as I do or not so much, either way. But all in all, I guess that will do it for now. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll be back again at some point to discuss something else.